我们反对的是共产党，它给世界带来了恐惧。这个带来的恐惧的原因，就是因为我们懦弱、自私。他们70年来欺骗了全世界，威胁了中国人，才让中国共产党有今天在全世界的风头。大家想一想，我郭文贵如果去了其他国家，我的结局是什么？不是把我锯掉了，是直接把我放到机器里变成火腿肠了，锅式火腿肠。而且在座的很多华人朋友，你们根本没有机会站在这个舞台上，因为共产党70年来都是成功的。
Evil done in Victoria Street, speeded redder than one eye. The handgun, the curtains untied, the unaccounted bouts of treasures are counterfeit, marching outside. It's gully yards, they be working all night long. Nobody's left to go on the go for doubles, back smiling, face on.
Kings, they sounded like a 70s. This place and girl, let me play out your ending.
帝皇他的威胁，让我们失去了尊严，失去了安全，失去了发声的自由和权利。我们感恩美国，我们感恩西方的媒体朋友们，与我们一起寻求真相，寻求正义。
How can the truth get exposed to places where no one goes? A simple smell of a rose, a secret start to unfold. Every person wears a mask of fashion, reason and lie. Every action has a reason, that reason is I. Oh Father, 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 oh Father, Father, Father. In this life, how can we live without never sinning just once? We can forgive and forget, but we can live and let rest that cannot take the pieces that are come to you as a light up. I hear a step close behind me, familiar smell, a flashing light. The door opens, we're turning around, the page is blind, left and written. Touch, no, so unhappy, row, no, this much felt too much to know. I know it's the end, you never think of the reason I fought to defend the only justice and you now live on silently, worse written to be seen. I hear a step, say silent, I got this level, I'm turning around, the page is blind, and the written reason to be the touch, no, so unhappy, row, no, this much.
《共产党对西方的威胁，绝对不是我在这里能形容的。接下来用我们的行动来证明给所有的全人民看，共产党是世界上最大的毒瘤。共产党一天待在中国，它都是人类最大的威胁。郭文贵总是有一句话，我们老叫身先养股先搭线，我要用事实行动证明给你们。跟着气球下来还有啥？
Do you know what else the Chinese Communist Party will do after the balloons? There are three main things that will come out. The CCP will show the world what it has prepared to destroy America, including fentanyl, the unrestricted economic warfare, the financial warfare, the currency warfare, the legal warfare, the media warfare, the social media warfare. A series of unrestricted warfare, asymmetrical warfare, will be shown to the Americans. The CCP calls it weakening America and to create chaos in America by interfering in American politics and elections. They are using the legal system and law firms to infiltrate America, and they are provoking internal political conflicts in America to create unrest. They have many plans in Africa, the Middle East, and South America. The CCP will provoke racial and religious conflicts, and finally destroy America with the unconventional weapons, the CCP balloons, chemical and biological warfare, especially the weaponized biovirus warfare launched by the CCP. We call it the CCP virus, and there will be more of it. There will be a series of simultaneous CCP wars. If the West is still naive on this issue, something really bad will happen. The Chinese Communist Party is waiting for the economic collapse of the West and America, and then it will seize the opportunity to strike a heavy blow at the West. I am very worried. Then, diplomatically, the CCP will continue to deceive the world by showing weakness, playing with diplomatic relations, making deceptive promises, threatening, oppressing, and many other things. The US economy is really on the verge of collapse. Then comes the CCP's financial war, blockchain, digital currency, digitization of the RMB, and oil RMB settlement in the Middle East. They do not stop. Now the CCP is negotiating with many countries, trying to find ways to counterattack in diplomacy and the United Nations. So I believe that when the war in the Taiwan Strait begins, the Chinese people will be cannon fodder, and the people of the United States will be the victims of the American traitors. There will be a final decisive battle, an all-out decisive war.
Hi everyone, this is Lila from Himalaya Quantum. Before I try to prepare this show today, I've talked with teenagers, adults, religious people about their opinion on Israel and Hamas war. Almost all of them have sympathy on Palestinians. Only one sister of Catholicism have a clear vision about the war. Today, we will talk about the CCP's ideology warfare. Over 2,000 students arrested in the U.S. universities pro-Palestinian demonstrations, the largest school movement since the anti-Vietnam War wave. Columbia Students for Justice in Palestine, one of the main demonstration group released a statement saying that what the demonstrating students have gone through is nothing compared to the suffering of Palestinian people in the past 76 years and 7 months.
United, we'll never be defeated.
According to a new Pew Research Center poll, young people between the ages of 18 and 29 are 3 times more likely to sympathize with Palestinians than those over 65, and twice as likely as adults. For example, adults under 30 are more likely than older Americans to say Hamas have validated reasons for fighting Israel. And the young U.S. adults express a more favorable view of Palestinian people than the Israeli people. This shift is highly correlated with generational differences, reflecting not only changes in the conflict itself and a shift to the right in Israeli politics, but also a decades-long effort by pro-Palestinian groups. We found out the link between the Black Lives Matter and pro-Palestinian movement. What are they in common? Regardless of religion, historical factors, financial status, or criminal race, or even race, who are funding them? A new report from the Network Contagion Research Institute (NCRI) shows a political activist group linked to the Chinese Communist Party (CCP) has played a crucial role in funding and organizing anti-Israel protests that have disrupted college campuses across the U.S. in recent weeks. Senator Marco Rubio said he was not surprised by the reported ties between a pro-Hamas organization and the Chinese Communist Party, given their shared anti-American and anti-Western civilization and pro-Iran stance. Shut it down for Palestinian. SID4P, which was formed after October 7th attack on Israel. NCRI described SID4B as an anti-capitalist and anti-police, anti-government protest movement that functions as a hybrid online real-world network for mobilizing frequent demonstrations as well as gradually escalating direct action campaigns targeting critical infrastructures and public spaces. Operating under the SID4P umbrella are members of the Xinham Network, a global web of non-profits, physical sponsors, and alternative news sources tied to Neville Roy Xinham, an American-born multi-millionaire tech mogul based in Shanghai, who is married to Judy Evans, co-founder of the left-wing anti-war group called Pink. Neville Roy Xinhan, a consultant for Huawei, a socialist and supporter of Muslim. Xinhan, who has been linked to the Chinese government media machine, he has direct contact with the propaganda arm of the Communist Party of China. He has also participated in several events and forums organized by CCP steering media outlets such as China Global Television Network, CGTN, and China Radio International, CRI. Republican Michael Gallagher, who chairs the Select Committee on the Strategic Competition between the U.S. and the Chinese Communist Party, told the Free Press the Chinese Communist Party uses tools like Confucius Institutes on college campus, TikTok's active algorithm, and organizations like those that Mr. Xinhan funds to divide and weaken America. Senator Marco Rubio calling for the Justice Department to investigate whether Xinhan and the groups he supports are violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act FARA through their support of CCP organizations. We will share with you a video from Moscow on 6th of April 2019.
Here are two statues of the Statue of Liberty. This statue was probably made around 2003 to 2004, and I designed it. This was made by the same family that made the original Statue of Liberty, and it was designed by me. After he completed it, he said, "Can you tell me what the concept of your design is?" I put it in my office. I said, "This is called the Chinese Communist Party." She's holding quotations from Mao Zedong and preparing to rape freedom and the rule of law system of the West. This is the first one. This was made more than 10 years ago. 9 years ago, I asked him again to do another one. You can see his family's logo on the back of this one. The Statue of Liberty and the American Statue of Liberty were gifts from him, and they all have his family's logo. When he found out what my intention was, he dare not put his family logo on it. So, we cannot find the logo at the back of this one. He said, "Tell me the concept of your design, and I will build it for you." I said that the CCP has raped Western freedom and used its red flag to replace the American Constitution. She is now holding the American Constitution. At that time, the U.S. lawmakers had already destroyed the American Constitution. This crown was broken during transportation. I said this about 9 years ago. Time flies. I have also designed a 3.7 meter, all copper, all solid one. Can you guess what she is holding in her hand? Half of it is the CCP's Constitution, and the other half is the American Constitution. She has two different shoes on her feet. One is a red shoe that symbolizes the Long March in China, and the other represents Wall Street. What she is holding in her hand is called socialism. And who has the face? This is the face of today's Wang Qisha. It was very different and cost a lot of money. When I started the whistleblower movement, he refused to give it to me, and it is still in France. The root cause of all US problems related to the CCP is that Americans have high expectations, while the CCP is actually very low in standards. I told them, Americans are very high-minded about any issue. There must be the rule of law, morals, beliefs, and human rights. So, all of you are thinking that the CCP is also like this. On the contrary, this is where your problem comes from. They were surprised. Several people shook hands with me, hugged me, and said, what you said was exactly right. Yesterday, you also witnessed that Mr. Bannon and I told the most powerful person on the committee of the present danger, and I said, all the problems of the think tanks in the US are thinking too highly of the CCP. President Trump may be scolded for saying whatever is on his mind, but he still thinks too highly of the CCP. So, the Chinese Communist Party is a gangster, a rapist, and a criminal organization. Many years ago, I foresaw that the Communist Party would be like this. Therefore, the essence of the China-US trade war is deception by the CCP. So, the US must change and no longer assess the CCP based on the rule of law, beliefs, standards, and human rights.
Personally, I would like to say that a lot of students were also victims, and that everyone can make mistakes when they are young, and that we need to give young people the chances to make mistakes, which it is the ideology of the civilized, open, and tolerant Western society. These pro-Palestinian demonstrating students don't understand that pro-Palestinian means support for Hamas terrorism and support for the genocide of Jewish people in Israel. Yet all the calamities of the Palestinian people esteemed today are from the Palestinian dictatorship regime, and only by taking down that dictatorship regime could completely liberate the Palestinian people. But why people lost their ability to recognize good and evil? Nietzsche on education says all education begins with opposition to all those things which are now celebrated as university freedom, with obedience, with conformity to order, with training, with willingness to serve. The educator is also the educated itself, as much as knowledge and education as possible, leading to the greatest possible production and demand, leading to the greatest happiness. This is the formula. So here we have utility as the goal and purpose of education, or more precisely, gain the highest possible income. Culture is tolerated only insofar as it is serve the cause of earning money to those who believe such things. And education makes a person to go his own way, or that suggests goes above and beyond earning money, or that takes a lot of time. This is entertainment. So they hate, that means they hate in other words, any true education. Today's students themselves who are choosing to pursue again of the true education, themselves they want to firm is rich or can at least afford rent and house insurance. The true culture is a combination of an education, and the true education transmits and creates culture. My question is, if the purpose of education reinforcing or eliminating inequality, schools in the present capitalist stage are essentially at the service of the bourgeois, and the textbooks, the tutorials, every educational position is a result of capitalist mode of production. This is why they said that the input of knowledge and ideals by students is preparing themselves to serve the ruling group. The dominant religion in the Western world is normally Christianity. But however, in many parts of what people usually consider the West, Christianity is on the decline. Many Westerners these days are non-religious people are not regular practicing any religion formally. For example, there are 27% of general population considered as Christian identity in Europe. The Christian faith is in decline in both Europe and North America. Over the next 30 years, the Christian population in Europe will fall below the level it reached in 1970. And tragically, here in North America, where people are following in Europe's footsteps, sadly, current research shows that the rate of martyrdom is rebounding like in Africa and Asia. The Western world was originally a country that believed in God. Everyone is equal and God, but due to aggressive infiltration of the communism, and there are some people in the United States who want to turn the country into a dictatorship controlled by a few families, just like China. And the first step is to brainwash the young people through the importation of misleading information, concepts that so that they cannot distinguish between right and wrong, good and evil, listening to the party and following the fake information from media are everything.
How much has the CCP's BGY strategy, blackmail, bribery, and honey trapping corrupted the United States? We had talked about this before, but who believed it? It would be very helpful with the situation, should Americans be hurt by injustice. This is great news for us. The so-called Confucius Institutes, sister cities, and the so-called agricultural exchange conferences held frequently between Communist China and the US only serve one purpose: to take Americans down with the BGY strategy. The CCP does not care about sister city. The CCP's Intelligence Department and the Public Security Bureau host all sister cities, forums, and industrial conferences. Vice governors, directors, and mayors of Chinese provinces must be approved by their central committee to go abroad. And the final approval is from the National Security Council. Why would it allow you to come to the United States? Why would you want to go abroad? The CCP only allows you to BGY their counterpart abroad. Let's drink first, tell lies, and then trick you to go to China. Alternatively, they may offer you benefits before ultimately removing you from the picture. This time, we exposed all their devious tactics. So, we have to thank the entire CCP's current government for revealing the true face of the CCP to all people in the world. This is just like when you take off your pants, people will know if you have a penis. How great it is. This is the fastest timeline to verify what the whistleblower movement and the new federal state of China claimed.
Yeah, Miles always has that sense of humor and simply of the complicated. When we're talking about the CCP infiltration on Western countries' education system, we should mention the Confucius Institute. The Confucius Institute was first established in the United States in 2004. The Confucius Institutes are promoted by the CCP as a mechanism to promote Chinese language and culture, help countries promote Chinese language teaching, and facilitates cultural exchange. However, Western countries have realized that the Confucius Institute extension of CCP's global influence and that they allow the CCP to influence decision-making in national academic institutions, monitor dissident activities, and promote the CCP's civil-military integration program. The civil-military integration program is the CCP's national strategy to make the CCP military the most powerful in the world by the 2014. The civil military integration program is designed to achieve the CCP's goal of a strong military by stealing U.S. intellectual property rights and trade secrets. Data collected by the U.S. Department of Education from June 22, 2020 to April 6, 2023 shows that U.S. universities collected more than $3 billion from CCP-related entities. The National Intelligence War introduced by the CCP in 2017 obliged individuals, organizations, and institutions to assist the CCP Security and Intelligence Service in promoting various intelligence efforts. The number of Confucius Institutes established on some U.S. universities and colleges campuses have declined from about 100 to fewer than 5. According to a report from the U.S. Government Accountability Office, the Confucius Institute is in the spotlight because of growing concern that the Chinese Communist government is using them to introduce the ideology of the CCP into a classroom. Senator Michael Rubio wrote in a statement that the Confucius Institute directed by the CCP government are flooding our nation's college campus with CCP propaganda. There's no reason for DOD to support these Confucius institutes. U.S. Senator Michael Rubio also introduced the no federal funding for CCP spying, persuasion in education, citing Act SPIES. The bill closes the CIWB loophole and prohibits any DOD funding for colleges that host Confucius institutes. So the legislation also prohibits DOD funding for the international institutes of higher education that host Confucius institutes. The power of media. Here are the examples since World War I that Hollywood would be the best advertisement for the American possible, and Hollywood stands for free expression. But now Hollywood is relying more and more the Chinese markets to make profits on movies. That means the films are being written with CCP propaganda in mind. The CCP are financing films, buying theater chains, pro-CCP propaganda making its way into the major American blockbusters. TikTok's critics says the population of pro-Palestinian content provides. The video application is a propaganda machine. So the reality is more complicated. The role held by TikTok in inciting public opinion on the Israel-Gaza war also brought us the concern. And anyway, about TikTok, I would like to advise watch Lila show episode 6.
My time expires. Mr. Chu, let me just ask you, your platform, why should your platform not be banned in the United States of America? You are owned by a Chinese communist company or a company based in China. The editor-in-chief of your parent company is a Communist Party secretary. Your company has been surveilling Americans for years. According to leaked audio from more than 80 internal TikTok meetings, China-based employees of your company have repeatedly accessed non-public data of United States citizens. Your company has tracked journalists improperly gaining access to their IP addresses, user data, in an attempt to identify whether they're writing negative stories about you. Why should, your platform is basically an espionage arm for the Chinese Communist Party. Why should you not be banned in the United States of America?
Senator, I disagree with your characterization. Many of what you have said, we have explained in a lot of detail. TikTok is used by 170 million Americans.
I know, and every single one of those Americans are in danger from the fact that you track their keystrokes, you track their app usage, you track their location data, and we know that all of that information can be accessed by Chinese employees who are subject to the dictates of the Chinese Communist Party. Why should you not be banned in this country?
Senator, that is not accurate. A lot of what you describe we collect, we don't.
It is 100% accurate. Do you deny that repeatedly Americans' data has been accessed by ByteDance employees in China?
We built a project that cost us billions of dollars to stop that, and we have made a lot of progress.
And it hasn't been stopped. According to the Wall Street Journal report from just yesterday, even now, ByteDance workers, without going through official channels, have access to the private information of American citizens. I'm quoting from the article, private information of American citizens, including their birth date, their IP address, and more. That's now.
Senator, as we know, the media doesn't always get it right. What we have.
But the Chinese Communist Party does?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we've spent billions of dollars to build this project. It's rigorous, it's robust, it's unprecedented, and I'm proud of the work that the 2,000 employees are doing to protect the data.
It's not protected. That's the problem, Mr. Chu. It's not protected at all. It's subject to Communist Chinese Party inspection and review. Your app, unlike anybody else sitting here, and heaven knows I've got problems with everybody here, but your app, unlike any of those, is subject to the control and inspection of a foreign hostile government that has actively trying to track the information of whereabouts of every American that they get their hands on. Your app ought to be banned in the United States of America for the security of this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think it is very difficult for Zhou Shouzi to make lies like that in front of congressional hearing. Okay, let's talk about Yang Beibei has been collaborating with the CCP for many years to systematically and premeditatively arrange a series of exclusive interviews with Mile School and the new Fellow Step channel. And then afterwards, through incorrect editing and splicing, maliciously misinterprets the contents of interviews and sparing no effort in attempting to discredit Mile School and NFSC surrenders and cause. The former CCTV reporter Yang Beibei is Isobel Young, who loves eating dog meat, who left Vice News, has now joined CNN on 8th of May, and the CCP and the world are about to have a decisive battle at this moment of imminent demise of the CCP. These pawns arranged by the CCP overseas can still enter the Western mainstream media and continue to be as Trojan horses, which it is absolutely impossible without the help of Western insiders. And it is also shows that the CCP has been controlling the media platforms in the US, which is great danger to the United States Ministry of State Security, the United Front Work Department, and the second department from Intelligence Department working together as initiator to infiltrate and control the global media. For example, Baidu, Alibaba, WeChat, or the technical guidance is from the third department of general staff. TikTok and Zoom are under full control of National Security Council. This is what the Communist Party uses as a nuclear weapon. Do you still trust the CCP to bring you justice? The CCP still powers media. Twitter, Facebook, Google, Zoom, TikTok, all the media in Hong Kong, WeChat, Baidu, etc. are under the influence of the Chinese Communist Party. If you want to know how dangerous the Communist Party is, just look at the media. And you will know. The media of the world has been legally controlled by the CCP with money in these years. The swarm of the world. The financial power and media power mainly under Jews control in America or in the world. But now there is another force, that is the Chinese Communist Party. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
The CCP's first goal is to make the people who use the most social media in the world believe in its propaganda. People between the ages of 15 and 45 use social media the most and are extremely addicted to it. This is its first goal. Second, spreading hatred and fear is a favorite thing of all dictators, including Gaddafi, Saddam, Hitler, and Stalin. These people are the ones who have spread the most hatred. The left dislikes the right, and the right hates the left. However, no one has ever hated communism. No matter who hates you or who you hate, in the end, you find that no one on the left or on the right thinks that there is communism above them. In fact, the biggest beneficiary is the CCP. Your hatred is the trophy of communism. The Chinese Communist Party did it. Third, it's about your work, income, and future. You never imagine the places you visit the most. You just said that you were a college student. In your opening sentence, you were very proud that you were a college student. You are proud of being a college student because all universities and scientists around the world have been brainwashed and bribed to think this way. The CCP has done it again. This is because almost all of the academic institutions use the internet. We refer to it as the globalization of world education, not the globalization of world trade. Confucius Institutes, global exchanges, expatriate students, and exchange students are all under the CCP's control. You are merely a slave under the rule of the internet. As a brainwashed college student, you believe that you should have the best boyfriend and can have as many as you desire. You are in college. If you study hard, you are wasting your life. You were completely brainwashed. We have lost the second defending line. Third, everyone hopes to get into Goldman Sachs, Morgan, or any popular research institutions. But you didn't expect that almost all the big institutions and scientific institutions would be taken over by the CCP. If you refrain from using social media, you won't be able to escape the second level, as all universities function as brainwashing machines, and the CCP will eventually recapture you upon entering an institution. The CCP has controlled all three gates. These are not everything. The CCP has prepared the fourth gate for you, your religion. The Uyghurs are in conflict with the Hans. The Uyghurs are Muslims in the West, and the religious conflict will catch you again. You will undoubtedly face discrimination in school if you are Uyghur. If you're a Uyghur, you're a Chinese mob. The CCP's propaganda on the Uyghurs, they are very stingy, very violent, and not trustworthy. If you don't eat pork when others do, people will think you are pathetic or something like that. To catch you here again, the CCP creates religious conflicts. You are one of them.
Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. Let me tell you what I've been through, baby. Lived a life that was hella unfair. Seen things that been driving me crazy. In a country where the leaders don't care. Didn't think we had the courage to change it. Tore it down and they weren't prepared. Everything that they kept us from saying. Now we talking and they better be scared. Take from us. Tell us what and who to love. Swear I finally had enough. It's time to rise above. Take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Follow me and I'ma set us free. Take down the CCP. I said, take down the CCP. Take down the CCP. Communism's dead to me because it killed our families. The CCP.